Hi, I'm Tiffany Brown Bush, and this is an FRL Integrative Clinic Minute, or you can call it an FRL Diva tip. I wanted to hop on. This will go on Instagram. It'll also be on YouTube. And so just wanted to share a little bit about extroversion versus introversion, shyness, assertiveness, and boundaries as quickly as I can. Anecdotally, I'll speak about my own experience, but this has been coming up a lot in my mental health practice and coaching practice recently. I have women finding that they're kind of worn out and just beat down by the day and feeling kind of, like people are taking advantage of them or that they need to speak up more, that sort of thing. One thing I think is important to understand is that introverts and extroverts get their energy differently. Extroverts tend to feed off of other people, do well with large groups, can a lot of times do well with being the center of attention. Introverts don't usually do well in those environments, and when they have to be in a group, they have to figure out the role that they need to assume to be able to handle that experience, okay? Just because you're introverted, though, doesn't mean you're shy. And as someone who gets mistaken for an extroverted personality a lot, I think it's important to kind of clarify this for people. Anecdotally, for me, what I have found, because I love to teach classes, I love to teach in groups, is that I like to teach, okay? And I like being in that helper, teacher, supporting role. That does all kinds of lovely things for me. The piece about that, though, is I can only handle groups if I assume this role, because then I can control how you're going to try to engage with me and what you're going to need to access from me, okay? When I cannot manage that and I feel like people are kind of needing to pull on me in different ways with their own agendas, I can feel very depleted and exhausted and irritable very quickly. And it's how I found myself dealing with burnout in my career a number of times, because I'm not an extrovert. So this is how I have to manage with so much different energy and so many different personalities. I'm very sensitive to all of it, and it'll leave me exhausted and unhappy. And it's important to know this about yourself so that you can operate in your purpose, but manage it properly, okay? So what I had to do is, particularly as my business shifted and grew a little differently, and I didn't just have a fitness studio, but I had my mental health and functional nutrition practice, and some bad habits that I'd gotten into were starting to really haunt me and wear me down. I accepted, people would text me at odd times and on the weekends and on Sundays, and it would be things about food logs or, workouts, or, they're having a hard time with their husband and they wanted me to call them or something like that. I was taking phone calls. I was taking, emails randomly, and what that was doing to me is when it came time to actually work with clients or do the work I was being paid to do, I was so depleted from all these boundary violations and this kind of side work that I was doing, I had nothing. And so what I did was, with my husband, we put in some buffers. I hired an assistant, and she answers all my emails. My husband answers the ones that she doesn't answer. I don't do text messages, and I don't answer my own phone. And as nutty as that can sound to people, that made me such a better everything else. I just cannot tell you. It made me such a better businesswoman. It made me a better wife. It made me a better instructor. It made me a happier therapist, because I was managing my energy properly, and I wasn't letting other people's agendas and timelines determine when they would be able to take energy from me or need information from me. I encourage you to do this as females with so much going on and being so overconnected, to figure out where your boundaries are and how to assert your boundaries, okay? And one thing I will say to you is, a lot of times in my work, people who don't like my boundaries, oftentimes I find don't have good boundaries in their own personal lives. So I don't even take it personally. I mean, if people don't want to work with me because of my boundaries, then that's fine. But if they want to work with me and my approach to things makes them unhappy, it's a great opportunity to highlight how they can work on their own boundaries themselves. So I encourage you to, one, accept if you are introverted, understanding how you replenish your energy energy, learn where your boundaries are, and then how to assert them comfortably and confidently. And that can make a huge difference with how you approach the world. Okay, thought this would help. It came up a lot this week randomly, and I said, oh, this is on my heart, so I'm going to talk about it. So if you don't know who I am and you haven't been to my websites, please visit them. They're in the profile here on Instagram, as well as YouTube and Facebook. And I want you to stay fierce, fabulous, and fit for life like an FRL Diva does. And I will see you next time.